Hey everyone and Happy New Year! Yes, it's still in time to wish it, so let's wish all of us an Happy New Year 2021. And we'll do like everyone else and wish it better than 2020, which should not be too complicated. To start this year, let's take some altitude with Microsoft Flight Simulator in VR. Long awaited and even for a while questioned about, the update for Flight Simulator 2020 VR is finally here. Well, in fact, it is here for a month, but I was waiting to see if a patch to improve performance in VR was released, which is still not the case at the time of writing this video. And we will see together that it will not be a bad thing to release a good patch which improves the performance, because it's a real demanding beast. I would say rather poorly optimized, because it still runs quite easily on a flight screen, but in VR it is awful. Tested with the Quest 2 and the Pimax 8K Plus, let's see what it looks like with the 8K Plus. Yes, in fact the performance with the Quest 2 in link mode are similar. We could expect the reverse, but the link mode does not go through the DP port of the graphic card but through the USB, so the loss of resources can be noticeable. And we end up with a frame rate similar to the 8K Plus, but without the field of view, and this in several games including Star Wars Squadron and Project Wingman, to name only a few. Mostly everyone has hard time running FS2020 in VR, regardless of the headset used. I have seen users who have tested with various headsets and no one managed to exceed 40 or 45 frames per second, with some of the oldest headsets like the Oculus Rift TV1. So let's see how I do with my 1080 Ti and my 8K Plus. To begin, Python with rendering in 1.0. Yeah, I think it's the first time I use it so low. 110 Hz for minimal flickering of the panels, normal field of view, no parallel projection, no smooth smoothing, and no Vive compatibility. I spare you all the possible mixtures between all the settings and get to the point. I do not use the smooth smoothing coupled with the 72 Hz because it is more pleasant to not have it than to have it activating from time to time, then go to 25 frames per second. Yes, 25. That's hurt. SteamVR as usual in auto. For the in-game settings, we're not going by 4 ways, and I put the overall quality of the rendering low, but it's still pretty. We do not end up with PlayStation graphics, the one. Here is a capture of the Steam window to allow FPS VR to be visible and to realize the frame rate disaster. But beware, the capture of this window seems to me to be 2 times less frames per second than in the headset, and that's why we will then move on to capturing the game window, which is fluid. We do not see, but fluid is with quotes, but largely playable. So here it oscillates between 13 and 20 frames per second, sometimes above, sometimes below. Below 22 it's honestly not that great, but beyond that it's not that bad. We can see that in auto, SteamVR sets the super sampling to 92%. Let's move on to the FS2020 Windows capture now to get a smoother view. Sometimes there are quite a few artifacts on the side in the periphery of the vision, but using the normal field of view will minimize the discomfort. Because yes, even in the small mode, it does have some artifacts. It's still not that ugly and not that jerky, and of course, I chose a very GPU demanding place, New York. Here is another test, but with this time the field of view in small, and let's go again on the VR window of Steam through jerky to have the display of SPR VR. This time SteamVR in auto did put the super sampling at 110%. Okay, so is that better? Not that much. Needless to say that this is absolutely amazing in VR. Let's see in a place with less buildings. We will try a landing challenge. Better to say that in VR it's much easier to land. Performance level are, I think, acceptable. We can see in the FS2020 captures that it's not that bad. Obviously, a Pavlov VR or a Beat Saber at 35 frames per second doesn't make it, but for a simulation like this, it works. Hopefully, a patch which makes us gain a small 15 frames per second will be released. Yes, well, it's not a dream. And no, I will stop you right away. Even with a bigger graphic card, it doesn't really go better. It's really a matter of optimizing the VR mode. So I will come back to FS2020 once a performance optimization fix is available, and I stop here for today. Do not hesitate to let us know in the comments how FS2020 works with you, with which config and on which headset. Thank you for watching until the end. Remember to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the usual stuff if you liked what you see. I wish you again a happy new year. It was Ludix. Fly safe.